Thank you so much for talking to us today. So from your perspective, what are the current challenges in conflict resolution and peace building?
So from my experience, the most pressing challenges that I've witnessed and lived in my country, Moldova, especially in the recent years, is the weaponization of information. And especially this is important because Moldova is a young democracy, yet shaping country. We have decided upon a EU path that we want to follow, but yet there is still a process. So I'm seeing how the fears of people are used just to fragment the society and make us use terms as they and we, you know. And I'm seeing how propaganda, disinformation and misinformation is exploiting these fears actually just to create more confusion, more chaos, and make us doubt our European future, our identities. And again, I want to stress that we are still at the beginning of shaping our country. And what I want to mention here also is how all this discourse is happening mostly online, which means that the most affected people are the young ones. So imagine that you are a digital native, but yet this doesn't come with media literacy, you know. We have the digital skills, but it doesn't mean the same thing. And you have online your friends, your education now, your entertainment, your lifestyle. And above that, you have all this malign information circling around, right? So it's really hard for you as an adolescent to actually filter and actually not be drawn into again confusion, and in the long term it might lead even to discouragement to participate actively in the society. So that's the challenge that I'm seeing.
Well, thank you, and you already give very good examples of how the digital literacy is playing in. If you look for the future, how do you see this developing?
Yeah, when talking about digital literacy and media literacy, they are coming together at some point, but they are still kind of different things, and they should be seen as different but together at the same point. I think we should look at them from both perspectives. So the one, and maybe the most talked about, is the consumer one. The way we consume and we understand information, and we're not able to perceive what's fake news and what's fact-checked news and so on. But we need to talk more about the media literacy that is coming from the producer of the content, because there are no more journalists only producing content, right? So, and it's amazing that nowadays we can easily produce content from all across the world, right? We have the tools that are easy to use, are very accessible, and it's amazing that we can find out very fast about whatever happens in certain countries. But at the same time, there are so many content producers that don't take accountability on the content they are sharing. They don't take responsibility. There is no ethical responsibility for that. And I think we need to talk more about media literacy from the perspective of content producers as well. And we need to involve that into the discussion.
Do you have any actors or mechanisms in mind who could help framing the control side of the content production, or how is your thinking there?
Well, I think in the future we need to work more together, and we don't have to see ourselves as actors working separately. So journalists and the new content producers, right? The old media and the new media have to come together and to learn from each other. And everything that we know should be put in practice into the educational curricula. So we need to make changes there too, because we have to transcend this, bureaucratic and very formal style of communicating towards audiences. And I mean here, even the government. We need to leave that behind and actually talk like human beings, because when you look at the propaganda, how it's done there, it's very emotional, it's very stressful, it appeals to people because of that. So then we need to change the way we communicate. And we need to do it more and better in schools. So I know that there are countries where the media literacy programs are already in charge. Even in Moldova they are, but it's still an optional discipline. It has to be mandatory. It has to be an integral part of the curricula, and it has to be taught by professionals, trained people that actually know the tools, the right tools, in order to teach youngsters how to distinguish between types of information and so on. So I think all of the actors have to come together, governments and, as I said, content producers and journalists and policymakers and the young people themselves. But for that, they need to be empowered. They need to be empowered with critical and analytical thinking, and this is happening also in the educational sector, should happen. They need to be empowered to be leaders. In political structures, of course, but also in other structures, any kind of structures that they feel represented by. So we need to trust them more.
And you mentioned the education sector as obviously a crucial one. If you think of an international perspective, do you have any other actors in mind who could help elevate the knowledge and the case for the situation?
Yeah, for sure. We need all the attention we can get from international organizations, from donors. We need to get all the support that we can to improve the educational systems everywhere. Because now I'm seeing that we have, this educational system that are kind of different in every country, but we need common models that would work all across the world.
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking to us today, and good luck with your important work in Moldavian.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.